Welcome to another edition of Thunder and Lightning. You're not Nikki. Well, you technically are Nikki. You're
Just
my
felt
third
a little
Nikki.
felt a little different.
A little different. I was about to do the Mike and the Mad Dog. Good night, everybody. Anyway, it is Thunder and Lightning. My buddy Snacks is here with me. Unfortunately, Justin Pennick had to do some show called Talking Giants.
Never heard of it.
Never heard of them. That was his one rule. If the Giants do not hire a defensive coordinator, I would love to be on the show.
Yep.
Sure enough, the Giants hire their coordinator literally at 5:30 as our good friend Westy Westicles West is here. And he is...
Oh, Westicles.
And he goes, he's starting up a war already. Snacks, Tiki or Dane? That's a good one.
Well,
Chris, what's going on?
If we're gonna go, no, I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah,
thank you
for not saying it.
I'm not doing it.
No. Anyway, we have a fun show tonight. Obviously, Justin couldn't make it. The chat is lining up. Thank you for everybody that come on. Please like and subscribe to the Blonde Blitz channel, and of course TSS Fantasy, which we're on both channels. Both Nikki and Deb are landing or at Vegas as we speak. Unfortunately, I couldn't make it. Very bummed about it, but it's all good. Always next year. So be sure to check out on all their hard work this week, and we'll be posting it ad nauseum. And I'm very proud of them. So what's up, Nicholas? How's it going?
It's going. It's going. My eyes are pretty bloody because I'm about as tired as that Giants defensive coordinator search went. But
yeah, so all right. So those that don't know, but obviously in 2023, it's 2024 now. 2024, you're living on a rock. You don't download an app of ESPN, Bleacher Report, Sleeper, or an app called X. So the new defensive coordinator is Shane Bowen. Crazy to think he's a year older than me. I sent you the video, the photo of him, and it looks like he's been through a lot of wars. But he's 37 years old. He's been with the Titans the last few years. I'll be honest, I don't know much about him. Maybe I'll go back and watch some Titans games or go on YouTube and find other people to talk about him. It's obviously the optics of him being the third option, and that's what everybody's harping on. I'm going to be more of the fact of let's wait and see what he does. It actually helps that his best player on the Titans defense was a nose tackle in Simmons.
Yes.
So that's our best player as well. So that should at least help us get things going for at least next season. So that would be a plus. And it looks like he was able to stop the run. So I like Vrabel. I've always liked Vrabel. He's high intensity Vrabel. So I would assume he's not so far behind because we all know defensive coordinators are normally psychopaths.
Yeah, right. And so there's obviously I'm with you. I don't know much about him. Just reading some what do we call them, posts, tweets, or whatnot.
Yeah.
By some obviously people that we respect in the Giants community. But it seems like the run defense is elite always. Pass defense is something to be less desired for. However, their defense's points per game was, I think, 16 or better in each of his 3 seasons. I think he was one of 2 guys. I could be wrong. You guys can fact check me in the comments, or Danny, if you know off the top of your head. I think he was one of 2 guys that they interviewed that actually called defensive plays. So
okay, I didn't know that aspect of it.
I think so because a lot of them were
they were
position coaches.
Right.
So I think that's another positive. And his red zone defense is seemingly been. I think the last 2 years it was ranked number 1, and then ranked 7th the year before that. So those are like the little snippets that I read, and I'm gonna take the good before the bad. But you're right, the optics wise, it did not look good that this was seemingly they just completely missed out on their first 2 choices. We'll never officially know, but here we are.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. So we'll see. So basically, all the important coaches are locked up. We do have Kafka, which has been the ongoing drama.
I still don't buy that he's going to be the offense coordinator.
I honestly don't buy it either. And if you follow, you know the same people I know. So I follow them and tend to trust them as well. I don't buy it. I really don't buy it. It's too weird. The whole scenario that he's going to be playing, calling plays again when the whole optics of him getting it taken away from him 3 or 4 times, especially
Yeah,
with Gable's seat a little
it's warm.
lukewarm.
Yeah, lukewarm. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. And he seems to be a tyrant that nobody wants to work for. So that's good. So
Yeah, normal.
Gable, yeah, that's good. It's not too long ago that we were all thanking God, Jesus Christ, our mothers, everybody under the sun that he was our head coach, and now it's like, whoa, okay,
Yeah.
let's we should take a little step back. But
yeah, that's seems to be the common trend. We crown these guys too quick, but honestly,
that
out
is
of
true.
all the coaches we've had the recent years, I still take Dave's over anyone. So I'm going to go.
Oh, well, first of all, it's not saying much, but yes, absolutely.
Right. Of course. So Chris writes, Tennessee ran a 3-4. I'm curious if he puts Kayvon at DE or outside linebacker. I hope he plays Dex at nose tackle. I mean, if he has a brain, he would keep Dexter at nose tackle. Obviously, the way he skyrocketed the last 2 seasons under Wink at nose tackle, he's an all-pro at the position. Why mess it up? As for Kayvon, I see him more as an outside linebacker. Let's be honest, as much as we both like Kayvon, he's not that guy that will be putting his hand on the dirt, and he's just not that big of a guy. So I see him more of an outside linebacker still because that's just his body style.
I think, and I couldn't agree more. I think if we want him to get to that consistent game wrecking player that's definitely inside there, I think outside linebacker would be a better move because we've seen him get dominated by tackles. So, and obviously I know outside linebackers can go against tackles again, but getting a little kind of momentum and speed off the edge would, I think, only benefit him and the defense as a whole. So I am definitely hoping for the outside linebacker spot for Kayvon.
What's up, buddy?
Buddy.
So yeah. It happens. They have a little podcast called Talking Giants. Never heard of them. All kidding aside, I love them. But yeah, let's see what happens. I think Kayvon's more of an outside linebacker type, and it's no knock on him. It's just what he is.
Yeah, that's okay. We see some of the biggest game wreckers in football that are outside linebackers.
Exactly.
So look at Matthew Judon. So it's
right. I would say the biggest question mark as Giant fans is what we're going to get out of the secondary next year because all points are it's not going to be there's going to be a lot of holes next year. Cornerback 2, slot guy, McKinney might be back. Done.
Yep.
It's going to be a lot of interesting pieces in free agency / the draft, and that's going to be ultimately where he had his issues in Tennessee, as it seems like stat-wise. It's going to most likely look that way unless we draft a breakout stud or we some sort get him in the draft. So
we're gonna need Banks to be a star, and he showed glimpses, but he needs to be a star. Like if he's a good player. So far, Joe Shane's drafted good players. Some of these guys really need to take the next step and be significant players, not guys who are like, oh, he's all right, he's solid, but we could always upgrade. No, we need dudes.
Yeah,
desperately.
We need dogs. Yeah. Does McKinney get the tag? I don't know the tag number for safeties off the top of my head.
Let's find out.
Does anybody know that? Yeah, Shane does draft athletes, and that's what we need, obviously. So that's really what we need, obviously, with our franchise really sucking the last.
Looks like 14.4 is for safety.
Yeah, no, McKinney's not getting that money. I don't see it.
I don't think they're going to want to lose him if they can't.
Yeah, I don't know.
Can't sign him. Maybe they start at the tag, but
I think we're dumb enough to franchise tag Saquon again.
No, can't do it. Should have signed him last.
I agree with you. I just think we are dumb enough to do it.
Yeah, well, we're not. It's been a decade of incompetence, so we don't really have much to stand on here,
Son of a
confidence-wise.
bitch.
Sucks.
Does.
Sucks.
Oh, you see, Buddy didn't even know the number. Holy shit, I didn't know that was
That surprised me too, buddy. Yeah.
Oh yeah, McKinney's either signing a nice contract or he's gone. But yeah, that's about it for the Giants news with Bowen. Other news was I didn't really watch, but the guys at Talking Giants and Grump did a phenomenal job at Senior Bowl week. So stay tuned and watch all that stuff.
Grump seemed to have done a good job.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't. The other two.
But yeah, go
They're
check
tough
out
to listen to.
Yeah. So this is where we usually have fun with Nikki. I know she's an alien. I know she's an alien and doesn't like food.
I've never seen anything like it.
I have never seen anything like it as well. So this is where I was going to ask Justin where he ate while being in Alabama, but you and me basically have the same similar tastes in Italian food. So I'm trying to figure out, did you have sauce yesterday, or other people call it gravy?
It was Sunday.
So that's a yes.
Correct.
I actually did not have sauce yesterday. My mom made ham. See, this is the night.
That works.
See, this is the night I wish Nikki was on, because everybody would have known the evil look of the horror on her face of having baked beans and ham. And she'll be looking at me, do you really eat that? And I go, absolutely, I do eat that. Do I love it? Ham does work, Joe. Yes. Do I love it? It's not one of my favorites, but it will do. We had some baked beans, baked potatoes, and of course the ham.
So you can't beat that. You can't beat that. That's very nice. But I will say, because it's her show, no disrespect. Your guys' show.
You could give her all the disrespect possible.
Some of these things that she tweets that she doesn't eat, and I'm looking at myself. I look up. What? Well, I could be lying, but I think eggs is one of them. I'm just
no. She eats eggs.
Oh, okay, all right. So that
she's not a condiment person. So
there was something now. All right. Well,
then it must have been ketchup.
That's fine. There's a lot of people that eat a lot that aren't like big condiment people. That's all right. There was one thing, and I think I sent it to you, and I was like, "Is there anything that she does eat?" Because I was curious. And you were like, no.
No. What you see is what you get. Honestly.
I respect it. So she stands on her loyals. Good for her.
Yeah, she gets. Yeah, we need to expand the palate, West. We all know that. Yeah, if it's not a smoothie, grilled chicken, what else? Vegetables, fruit.
Okay.
Yeah, very healthy, obviously.
That's good.
But don't you know the undertone of her basically calling me a fat ass weekly?
Yeah, yes. Without saying it, yes. Yes.
It's
quite hysterical.
She gets disgusted. It's actually really funny. And she shames my New Year's habits. It happens. But yeah, no, it is pretty funny. Hold on. It is ridiculous. It could. Yeah, no, that is her. She actually hates ice cream. So like I always bring it up. It's funny. The few times I've hung out with her is we've cooked and obviously we've eaten, especially my family and being very Italian.
I've been over for dinner. Yep.
And she was just like, "You people eat all this food?" And that was when I had people over for grilling, and I grilled like hamburgers, hot dogs, steak, chicken, because I knew she was going to only eat the chicken and other things. And she's like, "How do you guys eat all this food?" And I'm like, "It's just what we do. It's just the Italian stereotype, and when we see people eat, that makes us the happiest." So
that's it.
It is what it is. But yeah, if it's not grilled chicken, she maybe pizza every now and then. We joked if we were to ever go to a Knick game, she would try the pizza, but we'll see. I would take her to New York Pizza Supreme right outside the Garden. That's probably the best pizza spot.
Outside the Garden, yes, I would agree with that. Yeah.
That's probably what I would take her. But yeah, I'm bummed because if I was to go to Vegas, my plan was to take her to In-N-Out Burger, and have her take a bite of that because she called it overrated, which I am pretty sure it is kind of overrated. But
I think it is too. I've had it a couple times now.
I had it the one time. I think it's the lore of like the 1950s and the prices still being like that.
Yeah.
Thanks, Joe Biden.
Yeah.
But I think the lore of that and how cheap it is still, you can't miss it.
No, it's perfect. I was going to say the pricing of it too is insane. So real quick, just to go back, and we don't have to talk about our food takes anymore, but this was the one I was looking at. All right. Meatball parm, overrated or underrated, is the post.
Yeah.
She said overrated and gross exclamation. The meatballs always look nasty as fuck. Excuse my language. on these meatball parms, and the bread doesn't look so great.
Yeah, well, here's the funny thing. I mean,
who doesn't like a meatball or a meatball
I know.
parm?
It's hilarious. No, my favorite thing was like a month ago we went out and I got a chicken parm hero. And like 3 days later, I like reheated it and like sent it to her, and she goes, "That looks absolutely shitty. What the fuck are you eating?" And I'm like, "It's chicken parm hero." And I did a disgusting eat thing. I'm sure it's on Twitter and everywhere. And the bread just broke apart. I look like such a gavone. It was weird.
That's all right. That's all right. That's all right.
And then the best is people agree with her. That's the craziest thing.
No, that's true. And Buddy's last 2 comments made me laugh.
But that's why, yeah, 150%.
I don't know though. I don't know, Buddy. You ever see me in person?
Yeah, Snacks. See, that's the thing. Your name is Snacks, and you can eat anything under the sun, and you're still soaking wet 100 pounds.
Yeah, for now.
Oh yeah, metabolism is a real thing.
It's faster than Jalen Hyatt. I tell you that.
That
was a good one.
Yeah. Too bad we don't use them enough.
Well.
Did you see that? Tweet a couple of weeks ago. You know how they have the stick figure players, the options. It was
like throw it to Hyatt and it's Jones and it just goes like this.
Yeah, it was to Neighbors. It was Jones underthrowing it, and then or the good offensive lineman to protect them, and Jones underthrows it to Hyatt, and then or new quarterback throws it to I guess Hyatt as well. So that was pretty funny.
Yeah, so just another day in the life.
Yeah, man. Honestly, what are you looking forward to this offseason? Since I don't know the next time I'm going to have you on.
Yeah, no, I know. This was a nice surprise. So what am I looking forward to? So the draft is always my favorite part of the offseason. I'm not going to sit here and tell you I know much about all these players, but we draft so high every damn year that you start to learn and start picking your favorites.
Right.
So I don't want to give that cop-out answer. I'm really interested to see if Shane. I don't think Shane's a big free agent spender. He said as such, and he doesn't want to be, which I like.
Honestly, that's
I don't want him to be.
I don't want him to be either.
I want free agency to be depth guys, because this team has not had depth in how long? 2 decades.
Mm-hmm.
I really want to see if they make a splash on the offensive line, whether it's signing a big-time veteran guard or the tackle from New England. It's escaping my name, but he can play guard. Like, to me, that is something they have swung and missed. Evan Neal's horrible. I can't really kill him on it, though, because he was a consensus top 10 pick.
Right.
Zudu's a 3rd-round pick. Like, these 3rd-round picks, they should be starters. Like, they should be
right.
I'm not saying be great, but
be
guys that aren't going to get killed. I'm done with the guards and the linemen in the draft. You're going to have to go out there, and you're going to have to sign. You're going to have to sign a big offensive lineman, because this shit can't go on anymore. It cannot. And hopefully the new offensive line coach brings a little bit more ability to coach, maybe, unlike that terrorist Bobby Johnson. So I would say how they address the offensive line between the draft and free agency is really what I'm most looking forward to. And
there's no way we would have been able to pronounce that name. So thank you, Chris, for saying that.
Chris, well, that's why Chris is one of my favorite people in the world.
Inani.
Honestly, top 10 favorite people in the world.
No, Chris is great. I'm with you. like it's just going to be interesting to see because obviously it has to be the right player or something for us to overspend, and obviously we have a lot of holes. And the other thing with Azudu, yeah, he sucked. Yeah, was with Azudu that sucked was that he had to play left tackle when Andrew Thomas went around, and obviously that's not the spot we were all begging on him playing. Was there holes when he was playing center? Guard and center. Well, he didn't play center; he played guard, and it was just like really one of those situations. Just like, he's a third round pick. He should be a little bit better, but he's coming off injury with Azudu. I'm like, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt with him having to play left tackle. Granted, he killed Daniel Jones.
Almost all of them did except one.
Yeah, well, yeah, that guy needs to stay healthy forever and not get hurt on the first drive of the season. So
it's so demoralizing when you're watching like these playoffs, and not even just so much the offensive line, but all the offensive lines are competent and whatnot. And then you look and you watch these teams play football, and then you remember who we're a fan of, and then we're like, this is two different sports.
Yeah, I was literally going to say that. That's what our group and our personal we're watching a completely different sport, and it's really sad to watch because it's like we're nowhere near that. Granted, we made the playoffs last year and won a playoff round. Yeah, that was fun, but honestly, hopefully they prove us wrong and a couple players stay healthy, or we draft the right guys if we do get a new quarterback and he surprises us. But right now, looking at what we did this season, and let's call a spade. Yeah, a couple games could have went our way, and the season would have looked a lot more competent. But unfortunately, It didn't. But so that's why we're here, and we're all down in the dumps about what next season is going to bring.
You look at the Jets and Bills game, and easily should have been won, and you're 8-9. Things look different. However, it's clear and evident that things behind the scenes were not an 8-9 football team. So that's what's more concerning.
That's what's confusing. On the field, the players looked not competent, but for everything that was going on.
For the hand they were dealt, losing their starting quarterback for the whole year, essentially, 7 games, whatever it was, 8 games. But then you realize the brilliance of Brian Daboll and his coaching style.
Right, that's the
Danny
confusion.
DeVito look like a competent quarterback. He's got passing the ball down the field in a very efficient manner with Tyrod Taylor. So, I know he can coach.
Makes no sense.
But the fact that it seems like nobody wants to coach with him, red flag.
Yeah, the optics are not good.
And this is not what we should have.
No.
In our I guess this is technically our third offseason. First offseason, Shane Daboll get hired, and so not what you want.
Not at all.
We were up this way at this time last year in this sitting. We were on the rise, trying to close the gap. Now we have flatlined.
Yeah, we flatlined. That's for sure.
I hate saying it, it sucks because everything was so exciting about this team going into last year, and they just 40-0. You look back at it now, that wiped the soul out of the season.
100%. That was our best. That was our best tailgate of the year too. It was
sick. Yeah, it was a great time.
We were flying high. I'm like, okay, we might not win this game, but at least we're gonna have a good season. Looking forward to it. And then the first drive happened, and you and me go, oh well, that's how this season is gonna go, isn't it?
That's it. It's one of my and to Westicles' point, we were delusional off last offseason.
150%.
And you know what? But to our fairness, we were allowed to be. After the decade we ensued before that, to go on the road, win a playoff game as a team that was rebuilding, and the Vegas over-under was 5.5. You win 9 games. I get it. I think their success kind of they tried to speed up what they planned to build, and that hurt. But I just for this past season, I go back to that Dallas game, and I'm just like, that was a killer. The Fan Fest a couple years ago. There's the famous GIF of me and Justin when I'm just going like this.
Yes.
And Justin's patting me on the back as I think Daniel Jones threw an incomplete pass in a 7-on-7 scrimmage, and I'm just like, well, that's the season. Sure enough, I think we won 4 games. That's
Yeah.
how I felt all year and all game, that Dallas game.
Yeah, that Dallas game, I left at halftime, and then listening to the game, dropping off my cousin in Manhattan, and Daniel Jones is still in the game. I'm like, what are we doing? Like,
That's another story in itself.
just the like head scratching things this year was.
And then Thomas stayed in the game until it was
Yeah.
40-0 with like 5 minutes left, and he's still like, what?
Then he missed 8 weeks, and we're like, okay, we messed up. And then
what are we doing here?
the whole Graham Gano.
It's like Thibodeau playing Randall and Brunson up 65 points with a minute left in the fourth quarter.
Right. And then the whole thing with Gano, because we didn't have cap space and we couldn't pick up a kicker. And then he had to play hurt in a monsoon against the Jets and missing a chip shot. And then the next day, oh, by the way, he's going on IR for a season-ending injury. Awesome, Giants.
See, to me, like, that was egregious. But what else was egregious to me in that game? Tyrod Taylor is literally one wrong sneeze away from cracking a rib, and you go into the game with a backup quarterback that you know is not ready to throw a football on an NFL field in a monsoon or not. In a monsoon or not.
Right.
Like that's malpractice.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of questionable things that happened this season. I don't know. A lot of it just like boggles my mind. But then you look at it.
Yeah.
No, when you look at it at the end of the day, he should have been 8-9. So it doesn't make any. It literally none of it makes sense. None of it.
No, this season it's like a half mulligan because it's just like, all right, yeah, we really sucked, but some way somehow, how didn't we lose more games once everything went down the tubes? But they still found a way to play games. I guess, granted, the two of the wins towards the end of the stretch were because of the other team sucking. Yeah,
they
sure.
were horrible, yeah. And
then,
Tommy DeVito actually like lighting it up again.
And then the Packer game was Tommy DeVito's breakout party, and then you watch the Packers a month later, and like, how did we beat this team?
Yeah, I know. I think that was their wake up call when they.
That was 100% their wake up
when they
call.
came to MetLife and lost to a guy that's living on his mother's couch. Which nothing is wrong with that.
No, we're both.
Just saying. So it was quite the season.
Yeah, DJ and Tyrod both dying mid-season seems to level it when. Yeah, well, please. That was fun.
And I'll give him this. Like, what were we, 2-8?
Yeah.
The team, almost every other team in the NFL is going to fold.
Right, that's the most confusing.
And they never did. They never did. I think they got blown out one more time, but it wasn't really like a blowout.
Well, the Cowboy game was ridiculous.
Yeah, that was ridiculous. But what do we expect with the?
Oh yeah, that was a 17-point underdog. So.
Yeah. Yes. Right. Exactly. So I was very proud in the fact that I was stunned. They didn't just get up and quit, and people were Bobby O would. I'm not saying Bobby O was weak. He played every goddamn snap, or like sit out a game. Nothing like that. So. Another testament to the coaching. So it's like I don't know what to think. I'm so confused.
Yes.
With this team, I've never been more confused in my life. That's why, with this the coordinator hiring, the Kafka situation, all these things going on, I'm just like, I'm gonna let it play out. We have no choice. We have no choice. But for the first time, I'm not gonna formulate like such a strong opinion where I'm gonna work myself up over it because I genuinely am just so confused on everything that's going on. So it's insane. It's insane. You could see that the coaching from the head coach on was terrific because the players didn't quit. They should have won more games. And then you look back and then you're reading articles. Coach is a tyrant. Nobody wants to work for him. This isn't good. Joe Shane's overrated. Like,
there's no winning. This is very Met-like. I hate admitting it. It's very
you know what? It really is. It really is.
And they're not supposed to be the Mets. As a Met, Nick, and Giant fan, they're supposed to be my.
I mean, in your life, would you ever think you'd hear yourself say that the Knicks are the most competent organization in New York?
Never.
It's not even close.
Not since 2000.
It's not even close.
Yeah, no. Ever since high school, the Knicks have been the biggest joke in my life. But it was so funny. My cousin even mentioned it in his best man speech. He's like, he's loyal when he still likes the Knicks. That was part of the speech.
Yeah.
And that was out in 2016. So you know that team was horrific. So
Yeah, they were. They've been bad.
all right, we'll get on to the Knicks another time. We'll be happy.
Yeah. We don't need this.
We
Nobody
are
wants to hear
back
it.
though, even though
No, we're here.
we're here. Oh, sorry,
We're here.
we're here.
We're here.
Anyway, Nicholas, thank you for coming on. Where can people find you that don't already find you? And then I'll give my spiel after.
Nobody find me anywhere.
Sounds like a plan.
No, just don't do it. No, I'm just kidding. You find me. What is the app called?
X.
NIcky Sncaks _. You find me. You see me. You tweeted it out. I'm all around. This is since it's the off season. It's Knicks, WWE, golf's coming up, WrestleMania is coming up. So a lot of those tweets and a lot of my cousin Vinny tweets. But Daniel,
Nicholas, thank you, buddy.
It was an honor. Thank you so much for having me. And
as always, thank you for checking us out on Thunder and Lightning. I don't know if Nikki will be back next Monday. We'll figure something out. As always, check us out on TSS Fantasy Football, of course, the Blonde Blitz channel, and all our socials. Until next time, adios.